Welcome back to another episode of the DPCast. I am Paul.
I'm Dan.
And today we have one of our favourite guests we'd like to have in. He was on episode 3. He's still one of the best podcast guys we've had coming on in a good while, and that is Mr. Shaun England.
Hello, I'm back.
Did you know, Shaun, that you are the episode that you're in is our most listened episode? With
yes, I do. I get constantly complimented it by Paul all the time.
But no one else.
Well,
it's a compliment. Take it. But yeah, to be honest, on SoundCloud, you got the option to make the Spotlight playlist, which is, I think, your best episodes, all the ones you want to get noticed the most. There's 2 episodes on there, and the first one is with you in it, and there's one other one that we did last week. But yours is still the most listened to podcast, so congratulations, Shaun.
Thank you very much.
And we're hoping for another...
I feel so flattered. It's, you guys were there as well, doing little bits and pieces, like recording it and fucking mashing it together. It wasn't just me.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I just came on spattered bullshit for 20 minutes.
Well, that's exactly it, Shaun. You fit in perfectly. Me and Shaun spatter bullshit, but having a third person spattering a different shade of bullshit, it makes it a wonderful experience, and apparently to the listeners as well. So, yes.
Well, guys, in between that time, we're testing out a new thing this week because I am literally I'm talking through Skype, so my controller died a second ago there, so... in post, Dan, you might have to look through my one, and it says literally, "Well, I'm gonna cut this shit," because my part of the part's recording.
That's all right. I kept you and didn't notice. I thought you went a bit quiet, but
so you might want to do a bit of editing on my side. Anyways, guys, what we do each and every week is
What's New With You?
So, guys, what's new with you?
Well, I've had a busy week. I've been working. But nothing too interesting. But I've been working. And I got to say, I usually work the night shifts, as you know, Paul. But I've started doing day shifts and stuff. I thought, well, bite the bullet. I need more money. I need more shifts. So I said I'd do day shifts. And I got to say, it's a very interesting experience, actually, seeing people and being,
interactive.
People are being nice to you. It's like usually in the nights, people are tired. They want to go to bed or they're pissed or they're just misbehaving. And... you tend not to use the smile muscles too often. But in the day, it's like my face hurt at the end of the day. It's like, oh, man, what's this feeling in my face? Ow! It's like, I'm getting smile wrinkles. What's going on?
Smile wrinkles.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus Christ, this is exhausting. I'm going back to being miserable.
Well,
much easier.
Yeah, a lot less effort.
So this happiness malarkey, I'm going back to being miserable as fuck.
Yeah.
What do you think I do?
I was happy back then.
Yeah, I was happy
What
being
do you think
miserable.
I do night shift so much?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been my
honest God, I do my Saturday. Honest God, you get such numpties. I mean, we have this kind of system in work, see, Shaun, right? Where you use a key to get into a door, but the inside of the door you just have to open a handle, right? I seriously had a customer on the weekend who went up to me and goes, "Oh, I've got an issue with the room." "All right, what's up, buddy?" "I can't lock it from the inside." "Okay, you do realise that you have to use a key to get in?" Yeah, I understand that, but I can't lock it from the inside." I said, "Yeah, because you need a key to get into your room, because that locks it." Oh, okay. And I'm not going, how can you not realise this? You've got to use a key to get into your room, yet now you... Oh,
you'd think
blindsided.
Before coming to the desk, you'll click, hang on, there's no door handle. The key is the door handle. So that means no one's getting in without a key.
It must be some sort of privilege, though, Paul, to be able to genuinely go and welcome to Travelodge, sir, and along with that, welcome to Earth, where we have door handles.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I swear down, we have like the Looney Tune bus that just parks up outside and slowly starts bringing him in. Because I kid you not, if you see the numpties I have in the night, not customer-wise, I mean, this is just motor-orientated, that people literally come in and look for the toilets. I kid you not. Some people have actually gone into like the phone booth with us and picked up phones as if like the Batcave has just put up here because, the toilets ain't visible to the naked eye.
Just to explain to the listeners, the cat's out of the bag. Me and Paul work for Travelodge. Paul's particular Travelodge is in a moto station, which is a services station, which locks up at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So the shutters are down to the actual services forecourt area, where the toilets are and everything. So it's clearly locked down. And carry on, Paul.
Well, all you get then is people coming through the doors, clearly seeing everything is closed, and then walking around like Oompa Loompas that have literally lost all eyesight, going, "Where's the shop? Where's Burger King? Isn't Costa open? Obviously not. It's fucking black over there."
It's amazing the mentality of people. It's like I used to work in a travel with the bar in it, and when the bar is shut, the lights are down. It's completely dark in there. There are chairs and tables blocking the way into the bar with a little sign, blocking the way in front of that saying the opening times, and you still get people coming up to it going, "Is the bar closed?" Well, what do you think? Have a little look in there now. What does it look like, an open bar to you? It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
I had the best one ever. I'm trying to remember it back to it. It must have been about a year or two back. And I kid you not, at the time we had like the doors that we could lock, like so no numpties could walk through, so we didn't have to deal with them fucking dipsticks 24/7. These people physically bust open them doors, came in, and I'm like, guys, you are now breaking an entry into an environment that really is now locked down. And they were like, no, mate, I'm looking for Costa. Obviously, you can see it's closed. Yeah, I want you to go wake them up. Sorry, what? You want me to what? He just goes, they work in they sleep in Travelodge, don't they? Go, as if like I'm going to wake up the Oompa Loompas from the fucking storefront. Like, go on, boys, fucking somebody just wants a coffee that wants to share it 34 fucking times between his family. Fucking, like, what the actual fuck?
I can imagine you got like Willy Wonka's little whistle thing and and the Oompa Loompas come out of the floor or something and break into song and start making coffee.
I give that
I went completely the other way then. You said you had a little Willy Wonka whistle. I thought, like, on the end of Paul's, like, reception desk, you just had a big, like, dwarvish or elvish horn just...
Yeah, like Lord of the Rings, and then like Helm's Deep or whatever. You get Gimli going up to the tower going...
Costa workers, assemble!
Yes.
Costa staff, assemble! Literally again, by coming to Burger King. Somebody needs a burger. Go knock on everything over there just for a fucking burger because this numpty thinks you're fucking open at 11 fucking o'clock at night. Yeah. Anywho, Shaun, how's your week been?
Oh, well, I don't know whether I'll be able to beat Dan's exciting week, but I'm going to give it a try.
Of smiling, yeah. I smiled this week. Sorry, carry on, Shaun.
So, if we've all said what our occupations are now, so I'm in the military, and as part of the military, you've got to do certain qualifications and certain courses to, like, progress, to get promoted, etc., etc., etc. I am on one such course, or I was. The last week of last week's course was something where they really tried to put you in an environment where this is it. This is what you would be doing to the best effect. Training exercises. Can't really put the nail on the head. You've got to, like, implement your own sort of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? You've got to, like, show some initiative and show some realism and, just... All right, it's not a burning, collapsed building. You've got to imagine it's there, but they're trying to put you into that sort of scenario.
Yeah, the mindset.
Yeah, exactly. Now, our sort of mindset was a fictional city in a fictional country has undergone seismic activity. And we were going in as like disaster aid and going in, helping people set up like emergency hospitals and just basically helping the town out and doing the best we can. We got dropped off on the Monday in full sort of like army camo with big heavy Bergens on our back. For civilians out there, Bergens are just humongous backpacks with basically everything we're going to be using for the next 3 days. We trekked across hills and fields, wrecking buildings to make sure that they were suitable for this, that, and the other. If they were, if they weren't, if they had road access, if they were structurally sound, if they were clean, if they had electricity, if they had water, etc., 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 etc. But the only thing to add realism to this environment, they had to deprive us of sleep. They wanted to find out how we coped under stress when you didn't have a lot of time to yourself, when you didn't have a lot of sleep, when you were at the bare bones of your arse. They wanted to see that you could still give legitimate sort of directions to a team, so on and so forth.
Tell us how many hours you had over a 3-day period.
3-day period, I had 8 hours.
Oh. That's 2 or 3 hours a day, then, something like that.
Well, let me tell you, Dan. It was 2 hours on the first night.
Yeah.
2 hours on the second night, and they were really generous on the third night. They let us have 4 whole hours.
Oh, wow, spoilt.
Yeah, exactly. And this is going along with, you had to set up a HQ1, so the area that you're operating out of, and instead of using a barn or something or other, they decided, no, that could be used as a field hospital. No, you get to sleep in the woods.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So,
really, did you actually have tents? I never asked you this question, beyond running up to this podcast. Like, do you actually have any tents, or was it just basically you had to make yourself a makeshift, or was it just sleeping bag in the wild?
roll mat, sleeping bag, you in, sleeping bag, sleep.
Oh, fuck off. Seriously, so if it was fucking shagging it down, you guys out there, fucking swamped land, one mat, one sleeping bag, fucking sleep.
If it was pissing it down, you did have what we know as bivvies, which effectively like tarpaulins, which you could like quickly throw up.
Line up between two trees, straight over, pin down, like.
Yeah, exactly. But going along with that lack of 2 hour sleeps, we were up. When you thought you were going to get your head down and finally get a little bit of sleep, a call would come in over the radio and it would say something along the lines of, right, we've had a report of 3 casualties. Basically, a bus has crashed or something along those lines. Something catastrophe has happened somewhere out in the wilderness. Go and help them. So you'd have to get out your sleeping bag, chuck it all back in your bag, get all your stuff on that you need, get down there, grab all the stuff that you need, like stretchers if you're dealing with casualties, first aid bags, get down there, find them, because they wouldn't give you, right, they're in this field. They'd give you a grid coordinate and you'd have to get out your map. Right, we are here. They are in that 100-meter square there. Right, we've got to get over to them, so we've got to like nav out to them. We can't go as the crow flies because there's a big bloody mountain. We could go that way, but we're going to be shagged, and or there's a river in the way, or there's a building in the way, so we're going to have to go around that, etc., etc., etc. Then you'll have to get there, then find them, because bear in mind this was like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Just to say, no, it should have been stupid o'clock in the morning when they were waking you up, like.
Yeah, so lamps out, head torches out, find this casualty in like knee-high grass.
Fucking hell.
So find a casualty. I, being the nominated first aider, got onto them, did all the doctor's ABCs, basically try and save this canvas dummy's life, this weighted canvas dummy's life, I might add, because they were heavy as hell.
Oh, I'm not going to let you get away with that then.
Then we'd get new orders to say, right, there's the Red Cross are in this area, or there's an ambulance in this area. You need to go through the Red Cross. So you've got to go and get the Red Cross, and then you've got to go to take this bloke to the ambulance. So you'd literally have to stretcher run these people in the dark whilst navigating down whichever way, whilst you've got a, air quotes, dying man on your back, on a stretcher that you're carrying. Going on from that, day 2 wasn't very... Oh, that was day 1, by the way. Day 2 was...
Oh, my.
Getting it. Fucking hell.
That was basically the same, doing other stuff. Lots more of the same, etc., etc., etc. But at 12 o'clock on night 2, we had reports of seismic activity in the area again. And the area that we set up was no longer safe. So we had to relocate about a K away to a secondary location. Now, this is Bergens on backs. Take everything with us, all the logs that we've put up, because we've been making up like an area diagram of what's going on, so we can use this building here, got this building here, and they're all documented down just so we can, for ease of access. So then we had to yomp through the woods and through the fields and over mountains and over hills and down gullies to get to this HQ2. Got there, and then had a little bit of food. Started to get our heads down, thinking that, we're going to be staying here for the night. Then they decided, nope, they wanted us back in HQ1. So everything away again.
This is just showing one thing to me, Sean. Sorry about that, but it's just showing one thing to me. I would never be cut out for the fucking Navy or the fucking Army or any fucking part in between it. I mean, honest to God, like, what was it, day 2 you're on now, right? And I don't even think you need to go day fucking 3. At this point, honest to God, dude, right? I would have fucking died in my own manure. I mean, like, I've just gone in the corner, shot myself to death, and just gone... The world's not worth it. The world's not worth it. Just rocking back and forth, crying into my cornflakes that are basically just rations.
I've got to be honest with you guys. It sounds, of what I've read, it sounds an awful lot like married life. It's like seismic activity. You know, you got to relocate, but then change your mind. You got to relocate back. They didn't want it there in the first place. I was like, what does day 3 bring?
A baby.
Oh. Incoming nuke.
Without boring you too much, day 3 was a little bit the same, but there was a, air quotes again, helicopter accident. And, I've missed out day 3. That was day 4.
Oh, wait a minute, you were there for 4 days?
3 days and a morning while we were waiting for the coach.
Oh, right.
Sorry, breaking realism here. The helivac.
As we were all walking onto the helivac, quoted marks.
Right. See, I can relate that to the wife is coming to pick you up, but she's had a crash.
Yeah.
Hi, sweetie. Say, something's happened.
Tell us everything.
What?
So, yeah. In a nutshell, that was my week.
Fucking hell,
I think you topped
it. It topped us by a million miles. Like, all me and Dan have done is literally smile at customers going, smile and wave, boys, smile and wave.
Yeah. All in all, Paul's dealt with some twats, Dan smiled, and Shaun has...
busted his bollocks.
Yeah, it put us to shame. Made us how fucking easy we have it in life.
Yeah.
Let me just clear something up, otherwise probably the spy drone that's currently listening to this conversation and the sniper aimed at my head while I take the armed forces into disrepute even more. Looking back at it, I enjoyed it. While I was there, I thought I was going to die.
Yes.
Looking back at it, though, it's actually done me a world of good because, one, I've got the qualification out of it, which makes me a junior line manager.
Yeah.
It's got me integrated into the team more. Like the lads that we went there were as a team of 23 out of like my organisation.
All right.
And before that, I was sort of like, I was in the social circle, but I was sort of like teetering on the edge of it.
Yeah.
Basically, just from coming back and playing Xbox with Paul every bloody night. So, but yeah, at the end of it, I was thrust in the middle of it. I was a part of the team.
That's the whole point of it, really, isn't it? Because you've got to work as a single. I'm assuming you have to work in a single unit and work together as one type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And it's shown me that I can put my body through 3 days of hell.
Yeah.
And I can come out the other end a better man for it.
Yeah.
I tell you one thing, Shaun, I need to call you Shaun then. Freaking Shaun, honest to God, buddy, you genuinely show mass confidence in that aspect. Because I kid you not, if I was doing that, as I just stated, I'd have been there. Basically my own feces rocking back and forth, basically going, I need to go home, like clapping my fucking heels together as if I'm fucking what's her name now?
Dorothy.
I want to go home.
I tell you, I'm slightly a little bit envious of you two. It's like to have that kind of willpower to go through all that. I suppose you've had some sort of conditioning before going into it, so you can withstand it and all that. But I can imagine, through hard work is the most satisfying. The result of hard work is the most satisfying feeling ever, I'd imagine. And to go through all that.
Yeah.
And
I was absolutely buzzing when I got on that. Well, no, I wasn't buzzing. I was falling asleep, to be honest. But after a couple of days where I like cocooned myself, it was actually Sunday night. After I sort of like emerged from my cocoon that I'd created out of my bedsheet and pillows, and realised, shit, I've actually done that, and I've got the certificate, and my foot blisters have like partially healed over, and my back doesn't hurt as much as it does. I'm still on heavy medication, but
as well. Let's add on to the extra factor here now, right? Is that Shaun been doing this for the last 3 weeks, not the terrain aspect, but like a military leadership role running for the last 2 weeks, running up to that event, right? But he's been coming back every weekend, and he's like, Paul, I'm on, because he hasn't had no internet. Like for the last 3 weeks, he's had no internet. He's been pretty much cut off from the world to an element because of the amount of work that he's had to put towards it. And the same time as well, right, is that each and every weekend he'd be like, Paul, I'm online, I want to fucking play some games. And I kid you not, right, Sunday, I think it was Sunday, me and Shaun are playing there now, a bit of smeg box on the go, like, and he just goes, Paul, I need your help. And I'm like, why, what's up, dude? And he's like, my leg is in fucking agony. Like, I don't know what the fuck I've done. And I'm like, dude, like, have you twisted your ankle? Like, at this point now, I'm like his fucking medical officer here. Can you move your toes? Can you move your ankle? Because I'm a 6'6" guy myself. I twisted so many ankles. I kind of know the lingo and know what to have a look at, right? And I'm there going, have you done this? No. Right, it's looking good. Next thing, he's like, fucking hell, my fucking leg. Like, honest to God, right? He was like, I don't know if I could do this tomorrow. Like, and to know what you've just heard, he'd done that on a fucking possible sprained ankle. Is just flabbergasting. Yeah. It just shows 5 times more of the ordeal that you have to go through just to even retain that terrain. Just to be a fucking fully 100% man, you have to be doing that. And Shaun, I do have to give you huge props now. But like that is clean off to know that you even went into it not even 100%. You went into it about 75, maybe 70% into that. Because I mean, you said you were popping ibuprofen like Skittles.
Oh God, yeah, I was Saturday, couldn't walk. This is Saturday prior to me going on exercise. Couldn't walk, couldn't get out of bed. I thought, right, I need to get some help. I need leg get better by Monday. Otherwise, I'm going to break you myself.
I'll saw you off.
So I went to my confidant and in everything for a little bit of friendly advice. Paul, do you have any advice? And he told me what pro athletes do. They sleep with their legs at an incline to speed up recovery. So I tried that. No effect Sunday. So I thought, right, what the hell am I going to do? So I limped to the local shop and I got 3 packets of ibuprofen and 3 packets of something else. I can't remember what it was. Paracetamol, of course.
Yeah.
And I was just, like Paul said, Skittles, just throwing them down my neck. And that sort of subsided. It came back every 4 hours where I needed to take more pills, but it was manageable. And funny enough, by Tuesday morning, I was only taking the Brufen and the paracetamol for the blisters.
Hey!
That's not the, well, get this in, right? I kind of want to lob it in here now before we end this this entire segment now. I want to lob something very interesting now, right? And talk about a weird thing. Because, I've had the pain you're talking about, that you don't understand how you got it, you don't understand where it's come from, you haven't twisted an ankle, you haven't done anything, but yet you got pain in the ankle. Well, what's being extortionate pain, you can't walk in it. I've had that, and it's fucking peculiar. And it's a rare thing to have, and you sound fucking nuts when you say you haven't done nothing to get it to that environment. But you talked to me on that Saturday or Sunday night, and you were talking to me, and I was telling you the best things for you to do just to get it somewhat circulating and reduce the blood flow so you can keep yourself, maybe getting on the mend fixed faster, Lo and behold, Shaun, right? That is such a rare circumstance to have. The next day in fucking work, my manager comes in and goes, holy shit, I got the fuck I've done to my leg. I went, what do you mean what you've done to your leg? She goes, I'm not going to lie to you. She goes, I haven't done anything to my leg. I haven't twisted. I haven't stepped on anything. I haven't done anything. And I got a massive pain in my foot. And I went, any chances you're below your ankle, just below the, the ball of your foot?
The heel.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the heel. Perfect. Yeah. I couldn't think of the fucking heel then. Talk about silly. She goes, yeah, exactly that. And I went, are you having a laugh? I said, genuinely, my mate who was in the military, in the Navy, I said, genuinely had exactly the same pain. Couldn't tell me that he said he'd never twisted, never done this, never done that. Talk about having the same injury within literally 24 hours of a year in your one. What is such a rare circumstance to have? And I was like, is there something in the fucking air? Am I going to fucking have it next?
The heel virus.
It fucking disables you for fucking about 3 or 4 days.
Hey, that might be an idea. Maybe nobody's patented this yet. I might be able to get on my name on a disease. Shaun's heel disease.
The England virus. So.
Yeah, that sounds better. The England virus.
If I'm putting my last name on it, it is not going to involve my first name. Because this is one of my many curses, Paul. You know this. Being a Welshman with the last name of England doesn't bode well for me. Somebody, the day I was born, said, nah. This guy's going to be fucked for the rest of his life. Just by people asking me, are you English? No, I'm Welsh. But your last name's England. I know.
Sadly, I did ask that question as well.
I gotta say, there's a series of sketches that can be made. You can make a mint of it. I'm thinking, the Welshest man in the world. His name is Shaun England.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, but he's trying to be the Welshest man in the world, but he can't quite get past the barrier of having an English last name.
I got an S4C documentary feel in my head, literally Dim and Hoffy, England.
Bloody size.
Teen Kyle, Shaun England. Very Saesneg. Oh, I can't even fucking go. I know minimal Welsh, but at the same time as well as I can imagine them going, this is Shaun England, and he is the Welshest person on the world, and yet his name is fucking England.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ricky, before we go down this rabbit hole way too much, I say we get into the next segment now. And we change up a little bit this week, guys. You normally get used to the hypothetical question. This week, though, we've got...
Spoilers!
SpoilerCast. You'll be pissed if you find out what happens next.
We got our SpoilerCast. Now, we do normally do this as a podcast. Me and Dan are slowly testing a few waters here. So we're doing a mini SpoilerCast for Moana. Am I saying that right, guys?
Moana. Yes.
Yeah. So we are making this podcast Disney aspect. You know, we got a Disney feel running through it. So Dan and Shaun and myself, we're Disney fans. You know, as much as the age bracket we are, we're Disney fans. You know, it's a lovable culture that, to be honest, really should have a little bit more love towards it. To be honest, I mean, it's slowly dying. Have you noticed a little bit? That has slowly been dying a little bit. Like it. Do you remember back in the day of the? So I can just show me.
I wouldn't say it's been dying. I think it's just all being. It's all computer animated now, and it's kind of mixing up. It's Pixar isn't Disney, isn't it? It's
yeah, but would you say
I think it's being quite melded into the same kind of boat, and whereas before Disney was it's clearly Disney, you know, it's Disney all over, you know, whereas these days it's kind of all being you kind of balled up into one category. It's like, oh, it's a cartoon animated, computer generated, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but would you say it's bigger now than what it was 10 years ago?
It's different now.
Yeah, but I'm on about, is it bigger now?
Bigger.
Yes, of course it's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it though? Like, think about it now, right, guys? Think what I'm telling you now, right? Is it bigger knowing the film industry that we loved? That was... I'm playing pretty much devil's advocate here, right? Because obviously it makes sense it's going to be bigger. But at the same time as well, really think about it. It could be that back in the day it was a bigger industry itself. They had Aladdin, Little Mermaid, Lion King, Jungle Book. These were the classics that now people do watch and listen to this day because they're classics. But they were the Guardians, they were the Marvel industry from back in the day, if you really think about it. And think how big the Marvel industry is right now. Would you say Disney, as a nutshell, as the animation side to it, is that bigger? And like knowing all we've had is Frozen, Moana, and fucking Beauty and the Beast live action, would you say them three top anywhere close to the maybe the 5 or 6 5-tiered Disney animated movies?
I would say that back in the day, Disney was growing and it was more iconic back in the day. Whereas now it's bigger, it's got more going on, it's got Marvel, it's got still doing its Disney films and stuff like that, which are brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd say back then there were more classics, instant classics being made. Whereas today now you've had maybe one or two. Like obviously Frozen is a classic now. It's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. Much like Little Mermaid and all that stuff. But there was a lot more of those films back then than there are now. So I'd say because I think Disney went through something like a revolution type thing. I think it was quite slow on the going back in the day. And then when they started making these animated films, then that's when they really started gaining traction and growing.
Okay.
But now that they've grown to such an extent, it's huge, but there's less of the iconic films. So that's how I see it.
Plus, you've got to the this sort of, like you said, you've got the devil's advocate. Yes, you're comparing the films that they're bringing out now to the films that we grew up with.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's exactly it. The films that we grew up with, Tarzan, Little Mermaid, The Lion King, the devil's in the detail. Yeah. We grew up with them. We've got a certain nostalgia with those films where we could just, right, I'm going to watch The Lion King.
Yeah.
just because it brings back all those childish emotions, and it's the Lion King.
Yeah, I agree with it. Now, this is where I was trying to play devil's advocate on the circumstances. Yet, obviously, the numbers really go against that, and this is the reason why. As I said, I'm going to play both sides of this aspect now, right? Is because you look at this now, right? Shaun just somewhat hit on the nail. Is that to us, they started with us. So it means there wasn't people before us that kind of watched this stuff, and if it was your parents, sadly, they're either getting very old or they are passed away. But at the same time as well, your generation is in such a high number, it's running forth now into your children's generation that has hit Frozen, Moana, etc., 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 etc. Now, with that alone, that means you and the children, and possibly parents that are still alive that watched it with you back in the day, are watching in a higher figuration of people. So obviously, in a nutshell, yes, today's society is a lot bigger for Disney. But you think about it. To me, I just look at why I wanted to play somewhat of a devil's advocate, and we will get onto Moana in a couple of seconds. It's just I find this very topical. I find this very interesting to talk about. Is that with back in the day, you look at that 5, maybe I would say 7, maybe 8 movies. Then right, they are pretty much your Marvel of today, right? And do you think them being the Marvel of today, back in the day? Do you think they were as big as what it could have been? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say now? It's like sort of like where do you think they were bigger than what they could have been, or could they have been better?
What do you mean, back in the day, or
back in the day? Like sort of like you think about it now, right? Is that you've got the Marvel movies? I know they make the millions. I understand that.
Yes.
There's a thing behind it, but comic books were out since the early 80s plus.
Yeah.
With and more. I'm talking well beyond that, but I'm talking about like intensive storylines of like bringing in the Iron Mans, the Doctor Strangers, and in a lot more constructive colour.
So back in the day, there was restrictions. Animation was to make something so fantastic and full of fantasy and stuff. Animation was the way to go. These days, you got the technology to create the world with live action people in it. So that's what I'd say about that. Well,
I don't know. I just see it like sort of where with them being what it is, would they it could have been bigger. And we got to take in the factor as well. Money back when Little Mermaid, Jungle Book, all them kind of classics. Money wasn't as. How can I put this? Is it like somebody talking about the shilling and somebody going, "Oh, a shilling back in the day used to do this, and this," and you're like, "Yeah, but a pound now doesn't do that anywhere close to it." And I'm wondering, like, how much was it back in the day that they're saying millions were for the Marvel industry aspect, yet you look at the Disney feel that had a very similar, movie setup to it. That they were all classics, and you always wanted to watch these buggers.
Yeah.
Were they near the same figuration of money getting built, but obviously it wasn't evaluated to what it is today, Because obviously, like back in the day, you could go to cinema for like $3 or $4 back in the day.
Oh, you get a good few films like that.
And now you've got to be paying now in the 20, 30 quid. So, like, where's the money aspect? Is that back in the day being as big as what it is today? That's what I'm asking. Is that playing devil's advocate? Were they bigger with an old day society behind it?
I don't think they were at a point. I think I know a little tiny bit of history of Disney. I think with Mickey Mouse and stuff like that's where they kind of started off, and they were up and down, going from dragging their ass on the floor to just about levitating over it with the old film like Jungle Book. I think that's one of the oldest ones. I'm not 100% sure, but I think around the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, that's when they really started to make shape, and that's when Lion King, Aladdin, all these classic Disney films that we know came out, and that's when they really started to grow, and that's when they went shooting to the stars. Disneyland came out and all that stuff. That's when I do believe that is. I think they call it the Disney Revolution or something. I tell you where it's from. I went to my little brother's school play, Christmas play, and it was based on Disney, and they went through a little bit of the history of it. So this is where I've learned it from. Back in the day, they were quite small and they were struggling a bit. And it was only in the 90s or maybe 80s that's when they started to really grow. and become where it is today now. So
Okay, so how do you feel? And Sean, vice versa yourself now, right? Is that if you were looking at the classics, right? Do you think any of the classics hold up to the new modern day?
God, yes.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
No, I mean like modern day movies. No, I mean now in this aspect now, right? Like, so Little Mermaid, Jungle Book, all them, right? Do you think they're anywhere close from being Frozen, Moana, etc., etc.?
God, yes.
I'd
and
agree.
I've got one simple thing to signify or to like round this off.
Okay.
In the past Disney films, the more recent Disney films,
You're right.
what's the one thing they haven't had?
Prince Charming.
No?
Well, in the most recent days,
Yeah.
that's the one thing they haven't had.
A villain.
Bang on the money. They haven't had a notable villain that stands out and grabs your attention and proper, like, grips your shit.
Would oh wait a minute, would Frozen really come into this? Because like people would really grip their own shit on that aspect too. Is that thinking that Prince guy? He was a cock.
Yeah,
He was a
he
side
dick,
villain, really.
But
He was the kind
yeah,
of...
exactly. He wasn't a proper villain. He was just a greedy bugger who wanted a kingdom. Blah blah blah. I'm talking the old school villains, the ones that you grew up hating, and the ones you love to hate. I'm talking Scar from Lion King, Jafar from Aladdin. I'm talking Clayton from Tarzan.
Yeah.
What's the one from Little Mermaid as well?
From what, sir?
Rita Repulsa, no?
It's no, that's from Power
Power
Rangers,
Rangers,
Paul.
Oh, freaking my head's in the shed. Oh, what's her name now? Freaking the massive.
From what film now?
The octopus from.
Little
Mermaid.
Mermaid. I can't remember. I know what you mean. I used to have a bloody stuck in the wall plunger version of her when I was a kid in the bath.
Yeah. You know
She
what
was
I
the
mean?
most-
The notoriable villains that induce fear and make the movie like they give it substance, they give it a dark side. I mean, some of the greatest Disney movies have fucking profited just from having a decent villain. I mean, would Lion King have been decent without Scar? Like being an absolute bastard in the background. Even the songs
would have been on Gaston.
Exactly. The songs as well. The songs that these villains have like produced. The one with Scar and all the green smoke and Be Prepared.
You
That one, brilliant.
prepared. Sorry.
Exactly. You can sing it straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Other ones that are fucking brilliant in my mind. Stuff like Anastasia, and you've got Rasputin.
That's a good one.
That's a lesser known one, but the villain song of that is just fucking bone chilling.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
I
fucking
believe
love that
that.
song. If I ever,
I don't think they've had that in later movies.
No. I gotta say, I went to see. I've seen Lion King on stage a couple of times. I fucking love "Be Prepared." It's such a fucking cool song. And if they ever if I was ever had the opportunity to cast for playing Scar, I would play the shit out of Scar. I fucking love Scar.
Exactly, but
fucking
you
love it.
haven't got that with newer like Disney films. I mean, you've got Frozen, and you've got Hans, who is just like a little bit of a bastard. You've got Bringing It Round, back to Moana.
Yeah.
You've got Tomatoa, who's like the little mini boss. With that
There's no
dog awful song, fucking Shiny.
Oh, I thought it was funny. It's crap, but
It
it's
was
funny.
funny, but it isn't. It doesn't prescribe him as a villain. It just describes him as a
He
bit
was
of
just
a
a
show-off
hurdle.
prick.
Point.
Yeah.
No, that is a good point.
There isn't a
Like
centre
the-
point villain anymore where that affects the story. That's what usually it's. You got your main protagonists, then the villain comes along and fucks things up, and the whole point of the story is just trying to stop this villain and or work around the villain or whatever. Yeah, I get what you mean, Sean. It's like it doesn't revolve like in Frozen. You got the greedy bastard who's trying to marry to gain the land or whatever. But the actual, if you want to call it a villain, is her sister. And same with Moana. And I just thought about it. The closest thing to today's today's stories that we have back in the past, in the 90s, is Beauty and the Beast. Because you'd think the main villain was the Beast. But it's not. It turns out to be love and all that. And what's his name?
No, actually, it's Gaston.
Gaston is the villain, but he's still on the side. He's just that threat there. He's not the main
the antagonist.
Villain. He's.
Yeah, exactly. And it was exactly the same with the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I mean, the
that was
the
a fucking
part
one I've heard in a while.
Yeah, exactly. The first part of the song that I forget what the jester's name is, but
There you go.
he's singing blah 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 blah. Who is the monster and who is the man? And then by the end of the film, it shows that Judge Claude Frollo was actually the monster. And Quasimodo was the actual man. Because it wasn't the looks that he had on his outside, he had heart of gold eventually.
Yeah. And on top of it as well, right? There was a different story as well to the place in the Hunchback of Notre Dame, right? Is that people at one stage in their lives literally looked at special disabled people as if they were vermin, as if like they were, I don't want to be around these people.
Well, of course.
And what Hunchback of Notre Dame did is allow kids to be a lot more sentimentally mindset to see somebody of that caliber if they seen him in real life. Yeah. So it meant the mindset was there to go, oh my God, that guy's a nice guy possibly. Not that guy has got problems, that guy has issues, or that guy is going through mentally bad. They've got a different mindset from watching the movies, and I think that was another spin-off from that movie as well that most probably did occur. Because he did have master, what's it called? Trying to find the right word.
They taught good lessons back and all that. In most Disney films, apart from Lion King, I don't know what the lesson is in that, but it was a cool film. But there was always a lesson to be learned in the Disney film.
Uncles are bastards.
Yes, yes, they're kind of Nazi, semi-gay,
Which Scar was gay.
bastards. Well, I don't know. He's all. I think I've read about this. There's a kind of. I don't know the correct word for it, but I don't know. It's because he's kind of. You got the Nazi element, obviously, because they had to edit out the bloody hyenas doing the fucking Nazi salute, and they're walking around like Nazis. And if you notice, he's very awkward around women. He's like when he's speaking to Simba's mother, possibly, or around the women, and he treats women like shit and all that. And there's elements that could suggest that he could be gay, like really sadistic thingy.
Okay, never seen it in that aspect. But
I've read about it.
I can see it.
It's a little element.
I can see where you're going.
Dan, that could be just down to this man is an arsehole, not that he's gay. I can see where. Well, if you give anybody 2 pence, they're going to go off on their own bloody two-spiel. But
yeah. I wouldn't say. I don't think "gay" is the right word. I think it's something very sadistic. It's quite very, very dark for a kids' film. That what he actually is. If you look at his personality and stuff like that. And it makes sense. I can't remember where I read it, but it made sense at the time. And I was like, oh my God, it's all clues there. So
I tell you, if you want to hear the best thing ever of a guy talking about the Lion King, and I think his name is Jack Wilshere. Jack Wilshere? Friggin' Jack Whitehall. And on the God, listen to some. Go on to YouTube and put in Jack Whitehall Jungle Book and listen to his stand-up of a Lion King, and he will enthrall you and make you laugh so hard that you might piss your kegs, because his way of talking about Lion King is so passionate that he literally he goes in such detail for a minimal amount of time. Is beautiful. Right, guys, before we go down this rabbit hole any further, let's have a mini chat about Moana, and we'll go into a hypothetical then, all right? Yeah. So, with the full three of us watched Moana.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, how did you guys feel about it? I mean, literally, spoil away. I kind of want to make the SpoilerCast a little more, like we just flow, go with the flow a bit with it. So,
in other words, SpoilerCast is we're going to talk about stuff. If you haven't seen it, tough shit. We're going to talk about it in full detail. So
exactly. But not going in full, the full storyline. Just how you felt about it, and don't care if you're spoiling anything on the route of it. Do
you want to go first, Shaun?
So, and if you haven't watched Moana yet, feel free to pause the video, go away and watch it, come back, and then see if you agree with us. How about that?
He should come back on you more often. He's doing my work now.
I like Shaun. You can come more often. that sounded dirty. Sorry.
It's a Disney show. God damn you, Dan.
Yeah. Getting back to Disney and Moana, I liked it. Now, I know I said before the Tomatoa Shiny song was a little bit naff and a little bit...
Yeah.
It made me smile, but like I said before, he wasn't a villain. He was just an inconvenience.
He was a hurdle, wasn't he? He was a pain in the ass that they had to get through to get to the next... bit of a stocking filler for the film. He was like, let's pass some time. They're going to have to do something in between. And before they get to their main objective.
It was as if they'd made the film and gone, we haven't actually addressed this, where Maui gets his hook. 1 minute he's got it, and another minute he hasn't. Let's just, slot that in there.
Are you talking about the lava monster?
The crab.
Not the lava monster, the crab.
Oh, the crab, right, sorry. Freaking, I was trying to think of what name you were mentioning then.
The one that was played by...
The crab was awesome. I didn't find him an antagonist. In any form of factor. I didn't even find him a villain.
He wasn't really a villain.
To me, he was like
a
somewhat of a comedy aspect to it.
Well, yeah, he's kind of like a comedic pain in the ass in a way. They've got to go and get his what's it called? The sky thingy?
The sky hook,
Maui's hook.
Maui's hook.
Maui's
Yes, that's right.
hook.
They had to go and get his hook back, and to do that, they had to go down to this. Well, a very humorous little hurdle. Let's call him a hurdle. I'd say he's not really a full-on villain.
Because you don't see him much beyond it. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't have mind seeing him a little more in it. He was actually quite a fucking thing.
I enjoyed it. He is at the end. After the credits finish rolling, he's got a little bit at the end as well. And because he's still lying on his back, and it's like, if I was any other character, I would have been put back on my feet. Hello. You stuff like that.
I haven't seen that. I'm going back to watch it later.
Yeah, Dan told me about it, and I was like, I ain't seen this, but I knocked this straight up after it. And it's not as if I didn't enjoy it. I loved Moana.
Yeah.
Just didn't expect to have fucking ending credits. Yeah. You don't expect ending credits from a fucking Disney movie, do you?
No,
it's always a fucking Marvel industry that you get it from.
Yeah.
So I was quite dumbfounded when you said there was one on it.
Yeah, I liked it. It's Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords. He voices him. And I like that guy. He's hilarious. So I was quite chuffed to see him that he's in it. I enjoyed the song. I think I was a little bit biased for that because I thought, it's Jermaine, so I gotta like this guy. You know.
At the end of this, right, after the end we have this conversation about Moana, right, I want to bring up something with Shaun about another cartoon that he's made me watch, and it's a phenomenal cartoon called Avatar. I want to have a chat to them about it after this conversation. So please, guys, remind me.
Okay. But yeah, going back to Moana, I liked it. I liked the whole girl wanting to go out onto the ocean. That's rich coming from the person who's in the Navy, I know. But, I enjoy that whole, going out there, discovering who you are, fucking not just being limited to the ties that, not woman's independence, but anybody's independence, not just sticking to the rule set that you've been given, just going out there. There are other things out there. Go out to explore the fucking world, go... Don't rescue demigods and kill giant crabs and crap.
Don't be tied down by the fate that people decide for you, kind of thing.
What I took from it is literally like I've noticed the 2016-2017 has been a very much an increase in women's rights. I say women's rights. It's more of a standard, right? Is that I've been noticing like in wrestling, they're pumping it up and making it the women's division because the fans wanted that aspect to it. They've done it in other forms of life as well, where they've really improved a woman's where the women should be where they are and they're not. And I found this movie to be somewhere near the same. Is that it's showing to me? It was like going that the men was going, no, you do not go out on water. That doesn't happen with you. You are you. And you go home and farm, and that isn't it. That's an old way of talking about women. Like obviously they've got.
It was she was being set up to be the leader of the tribe or whatever you want to call it. So in a way, it was in a way a good thing they were trying to think, but it was more towards her fate, what she wanted to do with her life, and her dad was telling her what she was destined to do when her destiny was elsewhere, kind of thing. But she was being set to be the leader of the tribe after him, so it wasn't as if, no, my firstborn son shall be the leader, not you. So in a way,
I get you. Yeah, I can feel that. I can feel that rhythm. But I just felt like when she left, I felt like it was a woman going, basically telling the world to go fuck themselves. I can do this. That's what I kind of felt like. It was sort of like it was a nice feel of women's independence going, hey. fuck you, I can do this too, like, and literally showing like she versed demigod, she versed lava fucking thing, she saved the fucking the place that she was meant to come from, and it felt, I don't know, that's the vibe I got from it anyways. I found it a very nice vibe to come from, and to me inspires little young girls, like my daughter watches them kind of movies, you know, and literally inspires her that, you know, life goals are reachable, not unreachable. You know, it gives a different look of life looking into it, because you got to remember, guys, as much as it is, as I say, you know, there's adults watching, and there's a mass people of adults watch it. Kids watch it in their millions, you know what I mean? And these are impenetrable kids that are going and watch this kind of shit and go, wow, oh look, Moana did it, Moana did this, or Frozen done that, or Anna done this. You know, it's impenetrable. You know, they honest to God, if some of the shite my daughter comes out with, you're standing like, where the fuck did you get that from, love? You know, like, and lo and behold, and like, she's just been watching a fuck ton of Disney movies. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, all right, obviously it's working. You know what I mean? There's a learning factor to these, and it's beyond what we realise. I mean, we sometimes I get a bit dumbfounded of like, I don't think I was ever this box clever, but we didn't have this society around us either. No. Is that, you know, where sometimes my daughter is very much, we think she's not listening to us, yet she's so adaptively ready going, oh, wait a minute, and, you know, we'd be talking about something, and she'd be like, yeah, I know, I can't believe what she said. Like, I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Or like, you know, like Jaina was maybe, you know, she's maybe falling out with a friend or so, you know, and literally coming on the kind of go, we better not go that direction now because she's coming that way. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. How do you know? You know, like, but obviously from watching movies like Disney, there's elements like that in the movies. It's like an antagonist to an aspect, you know. So she's like already foreseeing a future like problem that occurs and going, Mommy, let's go this direction, or Daddy, let's do this. And it's kind of like foreseeing something that really, should a kid even be in that position? Don't know. But movies are showing that future thing for it, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it's only a good thing that it can be occurred, because I'm not going to lie, in between the millenniums, they did lose an aspect of that in life. I mean, it isn't, like, again, there was a mass chunk. There's not many people like Shaun, right? Shaun, you're somewhat of a millennium, aren't you? When were you born?
Well, what do you mean?
No, like, what year were you born, like? Was
1992.
1992. So would you count yourself as a millennium? No, it's
No,
2000.
he's a 90s boy.
Yeah, nice right. Millenniums are the ones in 2008. And as I said, you notice a massive dip in, like, from I was born in the 80s, and so was Dan. You were in the 90s, and I've noticed so many people born in the millenniums standards just don't have that. I don't know, like they've lost something, and like you stand and wonder, like, how don't they have this? And you notice in between that nutshell, there wasn't much movies that maybe dedicated them to look at life in a different limelight. You look at my daughter's industry now that she's coming into, and she's walking into Frozen and Moana, all these kind of movies. They're more inspiring, more dedicated to the cause, more this, more that, more the other.
I find that Disney these days are dipping into stuff that they originally had in the 90s kind of thing. Like with Moana, for example, it touched upon something that they have done before in The Lion King, but they touched upon death, which was the death of Moana's grandmother. True, yeah. And I thought, I cried in that bit, even though I didn't really know my grandparents because they died before I was born, apart from one of them. But how to deal with death and stuff like that, and they don't patronise the children. No, it's like, this is how it is. Grandmother's died. Don't take around the scenario. It's okay to be upset that your grandmother's died, you know. And you know, I cried, you know. And as I said, I don't know my grandparents, but it was very touching way how they dealt with that and stuff. And they also did that in The Lion King with Simba's dad, you know. And it kind of makes you feel like, you know, dealing with the death of a parent, it's hard. But it's okay to be sad that your grandparents had died. It's okay to be sad, you know, and it's you know, it's it teaches them. Don't be ashamed of it, you know. It's a part of life, you know, and it helps them kind of deal with it a bit better, you know.
Well, before we go anything, because obviously the podcast is running a little long now. We still got the hypothetical question I got. I want to bring us something. It's a little off from Moana. But Shaun, I found out something last night, and genuinely, I'm fucking dumbfounded that you haven't told me about this yet. Is that Prince Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of the best three season I've ever watched in my full entire goddamn life. Do you know who voices that guy?
It's Dante Basco, the same person who voices the American Dragon.
And Rufio from Peter Pan.
Yes.
Like, that fucking dumbfounded me when I found out that last night. Like, he was on another podcast I listened to, with the Achievement Hunters from Rooster Teeth. Forgot, I think Last Call, I think it's called. And he was on that, and lo and behold, like, his voice is spot on. Like, he only used his normal voice for Prince Zuko, and I was like, oh my god. And he's like, yeah, you must probably know me from Rufio from Peter Pan. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, mind blown. Straight across the wall, like. So
I didn't bring it up because I would have thought that was apparent, Paul.
I could not click his voice together, by Jerry. His voice, his Rufio voice to that voice is two different voices. His normal state of quo voice is Prince Zuko. From anything else, dude, I wouldn't have not added. I don't hear the guy's voice beyond Hook. I mean, I didn't even know he was the dragon. What's it called?
The American Dragon.
American Dragon.
Jake Long, the American Dragon, the Netflix.
Seen that cartoon? Just never put that voice to it either. So I was a little bit dumbfounded, and that's without the amount of games he's been in. Final Fantasy, he's in the new Injustice, he's in a load. So I just want to bring it up at the very end because obviously we mentioned about voice acting in between that elements there. Anyways, boys, we do each and every week a hypothetical question. So I say we get into it. I say.
You are entering the Hypothetical Corner.
So guys, this hypothetical question, it's going to be short and sweet, but I think it's a nice little question to finish off the show. So, if you could be stranded on a desert island with a Disney
Superman,
character,
Jesus.
who would it be? Disney character.
Oh, I didn't catch that bit.
Yeah.
I had flashbacks from episode 3 where I wasn't allowed to choose Superman and Dan chose bloody Jesus.
Oh yeah, we had a deserted island on that one too.
Yeah.
I like a homage back.
We'll have a repeated theme for our special guest.
Yeah.
But it's a different element, right? No, I'm eliminating aspects again. I'm eliminating the genie because the genie gives you wishes. The genie could eliminate you from the island. Whoever is helping you on the island cannot take you forthright. So maybe even Triton, Ariel's dad, he maybe can't be an aspect because he isn't. He could maybe get you away from it because he has some form of power too, doesn't he?
So basically, anybody who can't give you an easy out from the island and just say, right, let's follow me, let's get you back to civilization.
Doesn't mean they can't help you around it and in the water surrounding it. It's just that they can't take you away from the problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I get you.
So, do you guys want to go first?
I'm thinking.
I got one ready.
Okay. All right, then, Paul, seeing as you've got one ready,
Yeah, right.
as you came up with a hypothetical question, I think that's only fair.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got one ready, right? Now, I'm thinking, as I did last time, is that you've got to have something that, I think we had the 3 people last time, and we went as cook, killer, sex. Simple as. This time round, it's only one person, and you're going to spend the rest of eternity on this island, and you've got to make, you've got to make life, So, I'm picking Ariel. The reason why is that she's a smoking hot redhead. She can walk on land when she comes out of water because she has that power now that she can come in and out. Plus, when she's in water, she gets the mermaid tail. So she means she can collect fish for you. So you're inevitably never going to starve. So, yeah, like, what else do you want me to go now? I mean, literally, like, you're talking fish in water. She's female on land.
Yeah, but I don't think has control over that, like, human on land, like, fish in water thing. I think that was just a part of...
That was a time limit on that, wasn't there?
I'm pretty sure there was.
Yeah.
Well,
So, Paul, your next thing is it going to be fishy Ariel or human Ariel? But...
It's got to be human Ariel.
But when she was human Ariel, she couldn't speak.
Oh, that just makes it 5 times better. Freaking yeah. Honest God, I don't ever have to hear a fucking moaning if we don't have food. Fucking. Honest God, literally, can you just imagine like you've got a person there and all she's doing there. You won't even know that. I mean, she's just a dead mute. Oh, yeah, sign me up. I want all in.
We'll be recreating Shaun's weekend of, no, I want the bass over here. No, actually looks better over there.
Okay, Dan, how about you?
I'm going to go for a purely entertaining one. Actually, can I choose 2 as a duo?
Oh, say it and we'll give you a
I want to
ruling.
say Timon and Pumbaa.
Oh, that is a toughie.
But
No, choose.
I think I'd go for Timon.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Out of all the people in the
Pumbaa
Disney
farts.
universe, you have gone for a warthog.
Timon.
No,
Pumbaa's the
Timon,
warthog.
friggin' he's
Timon.
Pumbaa's the
Oh, sorry. Out of all the people in the Disney universe, you have gone with a meerkat.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, singing Hakuna Matata, I could get used to eating bugs. You know, and I don't want Pumbaa because if I got to choose the lesser of the evils, Pumbaa farts all the time, and he was like, "I'm trying to sleep here, Pumbaa. You know, cut it out, will you? You know." But
you could eat him after it.
oh shit! But then again, that's that's one meal, and I'd be alone again.
Your only companion.
I think I want to change up my aerial answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I literally, I'm thinking now, right? You went on the point of an animal perspective on it, and I never thought of that environment. But you think about it, I might go. What's the panther from Jungle Book?
Bagheera.
Bagheera, perfect one. He's a companion. Plus, he could hunt you down food and bring it back to you. Plus, he talks. You've got a talking puma that can hunt you down food.
I don't think he talks English. I think that it's more that Mowgli has grown up and learned to speak Panther.
I'll speak panther.
Hey,
I'll be
you speak
all
panther?
about speaking panther if he's all up in that grill. Like freaking, I'll speak panther. If it just means literally, you know, I don't have to go all Wilson on his ass like with a fucking football on my blood. Whole game.
Okay, well, wow, that's 2 answers I really wasn't expecting.
I went for the. I'm not going to go for the. I don't know if it's not. I would have originally picked the genie, but that's helping me, so that's too easy. So I thought I'd go for a non-magical, just a good companion for a laugh, singing Hakuna Matata, eating bugs for the rest of my days with Timon. So.
Me no worries
For the rest of your days, apart from these fucking bugs, fucking starving. Come on, vegetarian. No, that's not vegetarian. Anyway, Shaun?
Oh my God.
Shaun and yours.
Mine, I have, I've gone in a direction which I thought we were all going to go with. I have gone for a female.
Mm-hmm.
On the one hand, I can bang her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On the second hand, I can talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've gone for Jane out of Tarzan.
Fuck, that ain't bad shout, is it?
Exactly, because she lives in the jungle, and she'll be already like box clever on gathering fucking food and water and herbal medicines and shit, and I get a banger, which is something that you can't do.
Wait, okay. Let's get something into order as well. Let's get stuff right there. Okay, you can bang it. That's understandable. I mean, if it's got a vagina, you can bang it. But, and there's a huge but here, and it's not hers, is that when you have sex with her, you have no condoms. You have no sexual, if you're going to have sex with her, there's a high chance you might get her pregnant.
Just use a banana leaf. Banana
I think
skin.
you mean a banana skin.
Banana skin, sorry. Yeah, not a leaf, skin.
I was trying to think, what the fuck are you doing with a banana leaf? Fucking, it's for your
Nearly the
excitement
same
of mine.
shape, you know. You might not be able to feel anything through it, but it's something. If you come and get rescued.
Overthinking this.
If you come and get rescued, too. What are these banana skins full of jizz doing around here?
Paul, once again, you're overthinking this.
Okay, go on.
Once again. That's all I've got to do is shag her up the arse. Problem solved, no babies around. I mean, bloody hell, I'd be happy with a fucking wanking me off or giving me a blowjob every now and again. I don't need all of her. Especially the baby recreating parts down there.
Oh my god, we're actually going to end the show now. I can't top that. I can't top that. How can I top it?
What more do you want me to say? You give me a question, I give you an answer. And I'm giving you every answer to every, qualm that you're coming up with. I have gone for a woman who is good in the jungle, will be able to forage food, get water, and will be able to blow me off every now and again.
So, guys, if you want to get a hold of us each and every week on our podcast, get a hold of us on Twitter at the DPCasters. That's capital D, capital P, capital C, ASTERS. And if you want to download this podcast and hear even more of Shaun's crazy hypothetical answers, download us. You get a hold of us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and all Android apps. And further ado, guys.
Oh, can I choose Sanka from Cool Runnings? That's Disney. I think we'd be
minute. Oh, I've changed my answer.
Yeah, I thought he'd be a cool companion. I think we'd be best friends, and you could just fucking go and bobsled down, along the beach and stuff with that little cart they have. Oh, the back
It's
is
been
nice.
great, guys.
Guys,
Sorry.
can't you have me again?
It's Shaun. It's been a pleasure again.
Yeah, definitely.
Have a week. You gonna be advised or what?
Oh, I think we've done a good job already.